Happy New Year, Caner Universe. It's 2024. This is the first Caner Tip Tuesday segment of 2024. So happy New Year to all. And before we get rolling here with today's topic, hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon so that you don't miss any future content this year. And then avail yourself of the free resources. The most important one is the no-cost Cane Clarity Call. You do that by texting the letter CCC to the number on the screen. In less than 24 hours, we will be in a conversation, a scheduled conversation so that we can listen to you. We dedicate the time to listen to what's important to you and answer all your questions so you gain clarity. It's going to save you time, funds, and frustration trying to figure this whole thing out on your own, watching YouTube videos every week. And so that's a real shortcut. Avail yourself of that. It's the most important thing you can do early on. And then you have Facebook groups that are open to the public. Just request entry. Read about them there in the description and click request entry that will let you right in. Today is part 2 of the how to master the cane. What are the steps? And so in part 1, if I'll reference that, we covered the ACSD core curriculum and the 4 levels there and how to go about that. Today I'm going to cover the specialty curriculums, right? These are curriculums that are exclusive to ACSD and what they are about and how can you avail yourself of this and how do you learn them. And I'll be talking about specifically American cane boxing. I'll be talking about Sobrevivencia, which is a standalone system overseen by ACSD. And then I'll answer some questions that have been coming in and talk a little bit about how to become an ACSD certified cane coach, what does it take, and who's qualified to do that, and all that good stuff. So first and foremost, let's talk about American cane boxing. It's considered the most dynamic and all-inclusive of tactical play. It's a tactical cane system. It teaches both cane, it covers the cane, and it covers the empty hand. And it has at its root my influence in Western boxing as a child. Some of you know my background regarding that as a child, and then the training in Aikido Jiu-Jitsu and all that. And that made its way to this tool. So there's 2 main things that make it very unique. The first one is we just simply refer them to as the 2-3-2 drills. Now, if you are familiar with Western boxing and you've done pad work, we've applied that to the cane and to the empty hand, and it's very reflexive. It's teaching you how to move, training hand-eye coordination. And again, ACSD is very much about ingraining in the nerve system movement patterns so that when things are happening, you don't have to think about them, and you're not paralyzed by the fear and shock of the moment. To that end, the other component of it that makes it very unique, and we were the first to introduce that with the cane, is what we refer to as the live scenario training that comes from law enforcement. My experience in working with Cobra Defense International, and that's made it to the curriculum. It's a very fun, it's a very dynamic curriculum. And so if you're into self-defense application and tactical application, that would be the way to go. It's void of any type of forms, and ACSD in general doesn't have those, what's referred to in the martial arts as long katas and things like that. We specialize in the tactical. Now, the only way to learn that today, you have 2 ways of doing it. Either coming down to immersion, live immersions. We don't have one scheduled in 2024. We did it every winter for, I think, for 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years, we did that. But we don't have one scheduled in 2024 because of Sobrevivencia is kind of become the hog of immersion. I'll get into that in a second. The other way to learn it is through a CSDU, Cane Self-Defense University membership. Before you get into a membership, you can go to caneselfdefenseuniversity.com. Look at it there, and yes, you can avail. I prefer that you call the headquarters. Let's have a conversation. Make sure that that's a good fit. You have an annual, you have a month-to-month option, and you have an annual option there as well. But the entire 10-week curriculum, week 1, class 1, with that kind of organization and structure that ACSD is known for, you have that in American cane boxing. The only way to avail yourself right now is through that. CSDU membership. CSDU membership gives you all our curriculum. It's the online training portal. All our curriculums there. So right now, the ideal situation would have you with a CSDU membership, and then you come down to immersion and learn it live. If you want to become an ACB, an American Cane Boxing coach, you definitely need to come down to Miami to get certified. You need to do that. And right now, the way that it's set up is you do it 2 times. Just call the headquarters. We'll give you the details to that. But that's how you navigate American cane boxing. Number 2, Sobrevivencia. Sobrevivencia was not, I did not found that. I am a developer. I am a mediator in communicating. That is the brainchild of and the experiences of Maestro Eduardo Ruiz, who developed this in the island of Cuba under political oppression there, and his experiences, so it is battle tested. Sobrevivencia is a Spanish word that means survival, and that's what it's all about. Very ninja-like in the sense that it's very deceptive, and it was put together that way out of necessity, and that is important. Maestro Ruiz didn't have access to the kind of tools that we have here in terms of the cane and the quality of the woods and the hardwoods and all that. So he developed a movement-based system. It has a lot of parallels to ACSD, but it's a whole philosophy. It's a health system. It is a way to clear the mind and not have the thoughts and the mind control you. It is also practical self-defense application with the cane, but really with any tool that is put in your hand, and that includes a knife, but that includes literally a cup of coffee and anything else that you have in there. So that's why I refer to him as a Cuban ninja, because anything that he had, he learned how to create. He's very good at working with his hands, and it has at the core a strong philosophy of peaceful conflict resolution. Okay, so avoidance, and just from the everyday living, the principles, you can apply them immediately, but it's very non-conflicting. It has models set up as to how to respond to conflict and to violence, and he comes from a place that if you always try to go and clash and overpower, and you weren't going to make it. You weren't going to make it. It was put together to deal with multiple assailants, and particularly when they were armed with impact tools, because that's how the fast response brigades in the island of Cuba, came to see him. And so a lot of wisdom there. He was asked not too long ago, hey, why did you choose to go this route, movement-based and more of the blending and with the angular movement? And he, his simple answer was, hey, I got older, and so he couldn't do some of the things that he did in overpowering. And so it's very attractive to the over 50 audience, even though it's open to everyone. Part of the reason why it's so attractive also for that audience is because injuries. If you have injuries, if you have limitations. Sobrevivencia, Maestro Ruiz he was employed as a therapist on the island as well, so he has knowledge of rehab, and he's very articulate in Spanish. I come in and I translate everything for him. The only way to learn that right now, if you have an interest in Sobrevivencia, the first thing you need to do is get yourself a Sobrevivencia Patreon membership, which is less than $1 a day. It's $27 a month. And the content is outstanding because you have it not just an application, but you have the philosophy behind it, the breathing methods, how to clear the mind, just really useful items for everyday living, both cane and empty hand. And then the other way is coming down to Miami. So if you're wanting to learn it hands-on from Maestro Ruiz and myself, obviously, and the coaches that'll be there, 2024 is a year to do that, because in February 20th through the 23rd, and it's already, I'm looking at it on the board, it is 70% to capacity at this time. We always limit participation for your best experience, no more than 6 caners to one floor instructor. Maestro and I lead it all from the platform. You're going to want to earmark 2024. He's doing the level 1, particularly if you're interested in teaching it. Level 1 in February immersion, and then when that's winter cane immersion, and then in the fall and September he's coming back for level 2, which includes the anatomical targeting and pressure point strikes and these things that he holds of tremendous importance. And he's always very concerned that information is so powerful that he doesn't want that falling in the wrong hands. So we will certainly have a conversation if you're interested in doing that. But if Sobrevivencia, the first thing I want you to do with Sobrevivencia is I want you to go and get in the Facebook group, which is open, so that you can read a little bit about it. Go to YouTube and look at, I've done series, look up the word Sobrevivencia, it's spelled out for you on the screen there. I've done a series of videos there. And then the membership, the way to learn this is through the online Patreon membership, which includes, if you do there's an annual option that gives you 15% off. The $27 a month gives you a 1-hour session with he and I, which is all answering questions and demonstrating and elaborating on principles. It gets recorded and you have access to it. So the value is unbelievable. Okay, so it is not a part of ACSD course, so it functions separate. We house it. We are responsible for the development, the dissemination of it, communicating it to others, the training opportunities, but it's still Maestro Reese's program, his brainchild, and that's the platform that we have agreed, and that's how we bring it to you. So, and then lastly, I want to talk about, by the way, those of you that ask about a CaneFlow curriculum, if you have an interest in CaneFlow, go the core route. Go back to the core route because you can't go wrong there. At the advanced level, in order to graduate, you're going to put together your own flow. And if you move on to masters, you're doing a double CaneFlow, but go there for now. Some come to CaneFlow not for self-defense purposes. They come for the brain training, for the better movement, for the extra. That's wonderful. That is congruent with, there's a lot of similarities between CaneFlow and Sobrevivencia. And so there's dancers, artists, just musicians and others that are attracted to all the different components in both of those arts. And if you're a musician and the rhythm and all that, you're going to look at CaneFlow for doing that. But my recommendation for now is to go through the core curriculum. Give us a call at the headquarters. Let's have a conversation so that we can orient you with that. As far as coaches, ACSD has a licensure program. Everything is very structured. You can technically start teaching as soon as you complete level 1, which can take you 6 weeks, or even sooner than that. The soonest we've seen anybody do it is 2.5 weeks because they were in a hurry. They wanted to get on to advanced. They actually taught for the headquarters. And you can avail yourself as soon as you're done there. You come into the licensure program, and it's basically a quote-unquote business in a box. Everything from your branded website to your welcome videos, your scripts, how to communicate, which is the biggie. How do we treat those that we're privileged to serve? But it's also the curriculum itself, video curriculum written. You're never going to go out on the platform as an ACSD coach and go, fly by the seat of your pants and say, oh, I wonder what I'm going to teach today, because everything is very spelled out. Week 1, class 1, class 2, week 2, video curriculum structure. And so it just really makes everything easy. The rule of thumb is you can only teach what you're certified in. So if you're certified at level 1 leader, that you can introduce others to that 6-week challenge, which is a starting point for everyone. If you're certified at the advanced level, you can teach that. At masters, you can do that. If you're certified in a specialty program like American cane boxing, then you can go ahead and do that. The Sobrevivencia functions a little bit different, but here's a really neat thing with ACSD right now, and the coaches, everybody grandfathered in under one program, one licensure fee, and it covers everything. So you don't have to pay separately for that. If you have an interest in that, again, the most important thing you can do right now is that no-cost Cane Clarity call, so that you can get the information. We can guide you step by step, but you can certainly make this happen in 2024. And that's what we wish for you here on ACSD. Nothing but health, prosperity, peace, love, and we are always here for you. Thank you for the privilege always of being able to serve you, and all the best for you and your loved ones in 2024. Thanks for watching. Keep caning. 2024 is your year. You can make it happen. We're here with you. God bless always.